VisSched is a free open source visual schedule and timer for your classroom. And this came out of a real problem in my class. The way I start my class is we spend the first 5 minutes as our transition time and getting some typing practice in. And one of my students really struggled because this first 5 minutes here was when he needed a lot more time in transitioning and he didn't realize how much time had passed. And so when we moved on to the lesson intro or even its work time, that's when he started doing his 5 minutes of typing practice. And if I tried getting him to move on to the lesson, he got frustrated because he was still up here and in his head it was I do 5 minutes of typing practice. But that concept of we move past that with a clock was really difficult for him. And so this visual schedule, by having this up on the board and he could see how much time of that 5 minutes is left, that helped him understand and make his own decisions so that he was then ready when we transition into the lesson. And that's the basis of visual schedule, so that you can have this visual schedule up on the screen so students can see where they are at and what's going to be coming up next, what the expectations are going to be. As the teacher, you can go in, set up your schedules however you need it to be, the number of minutes, any kind of details that you want to have on there, icons to visually kind of convey that idea. And then there's a variety of preset animations that you can choose as well. So if we had like a melting candle, we can show that. And then as time goes along, then we can kind of see of like how much time has progressed as the candle is melting down, as we can kind of see that there. So then they can kind of see like, okay, all right, then we move on to the next one. Um, One of my favorite ways of using visual schedule when it was running is by having the split screen feature in Chrome. So it's right click or two finger tap on the tab, add new tab in split view, and then I would select my presentation. And what was great about this is that now I could share the slides and other kind of information I want the students to be seeing on the board at the same time as they're also seeing that visual schedule as they're going along here. And you can even, if you do presenter view here, check that out. And now you've got these large slides and you have your visual schedule also running on the side. That's helpful for you as the teacher to know how much time we have left till we need to start the lesson recap, and also students know how much time they have left as they're going along. Visual Schedule is also free and open source. One of the things about it that I'm going to show you here is that there are no accounts at all. The actual URL or all the information about that schedule is saved up here in the URL bar as well as in the cookies. And so whenever you download the schedule or upload one, you're just simply downloading simple little files so you can then load that in. If you ever click on Share Schedule, that's now been copied and you can bookmark this in your browser. You can email it to others. And when you open up that link, all it's going to be doing is opening that up and it will get all of the data from that URL. So this is fantastic. And one of the other things too about Visual Schedule is that as an open source project, you can download and modify all of these files on your own. It is set up as a single HTML file. So if for some reason you are not able to access that website, you can download it as a single HTML file, email it to yourself, and then just open it directly from your computer in the browser and just run it from right there. The way I developed it was first using Google AI Studio to simply to prototype out this idea for it. I kind of kept growing that, and eventually I moved on to Google or onto Claude Code so that I could have more control over the animations and some of the different details of the app until I made it public and available. So that is VisSched at vissched.com. It works fantastic on mobile devices, Chromebooks. So even if you're not using it for a projector, you can also use it for a whole variety of different types of schedules. So it does not have to be a classroom. It can be your own personal schedule, morning routines, anything like that.